I was about to graduate with a degree in chemical engineering, but I had just found out that I wanted to be a software engineer. So I was freaking out, what am I gonna do? And then Capital One showed up with the Capital One Developer Academy for people who didn't study computer science but wanted to be software engineers. I always say it was like my dream job kind of got like wrapped up into a gift, and I had to get it once I found out about it. Capital One really shows themselves as a tech company to me as a software engineer. It was kind of amazing to see that they were transitioning from all their data centers fully into the cloud. They were doing amazing things in technology, getting into machine learning, and I was just blown away by everything Capital One was doing as a bank to really make the leap and jump into technology. And I've gotten to learn so many things about tech that I had no clue about. When I joined Capital One, I had used Python for maybe a month beforehand, and I had not really done any coding before that. Now I can build full-scale mobile or web applications. I know how to manage data, create APIs, create user interfaces, but especially for me, joining through some of their campus programs like Capital One Developer Academy or CODA and the Technology Development Program or the TDP, you're really joining with a cohort of people who are at the same stage of their career as you, who are maybe joining the professional world for the first time. I was with people who were similar to me, but came from all different walks of life and different backgrounds. Diversity, inclusion, and belonging is something that is super important to me. My first ever internship was in the manufacturing industry, and I remember being not only the only person of color on my team, but also the only queer person that I met the entire summer at this manufacturing facility. And so going into my senior year, I knew that I wanted a company where I could be Joey. I could be myself, and I could always feel comfortable with every aspect of my identity. And I really can't think of a place where that showed up more than with Capital One. From my interview process, someone from the LGBTQ+ BRG at Capital One reached out to me, asked me to have coffee and just talk about what it was like to work at Capital One. And right there, I had already met someone who shared an identity to me before I'd even joined the company. And joining the company, I really see that as well. I really found myself at Capital One able to be Joey and bring my full self to work and not even think about it. So when I think about those two experiences, coming from the manufacturing world and then entering Capital One's tech world, I've never felt the reason to hide anything about myself, and I feel like all my identities have actually been celebrated at Capital One.